So good morning everyone and welcome to our community open morning for our Otterburn Street site in Sandymoor. So the purpose of today's open morning is to really just give you kind of a progress update of where we're up to on site. We'll also let you know what we've been up to in the community, do a bit of an environmental update, and we'll also introduce live housing and then go through some of the question and answers that you've previously submitted to us. So first of all, let's start with an intro on the site. So Lane End Group and Live Housing Group will be delivering a mix of 5 bungalows and 44 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. So the homes will all be available for affordable rent aimed at over 55s, and that will be managed by Live Housing Group, and Lane End Group are the building contractor, and we're based in the northwest. Okay, so we'll start today's meeting with some introductions, and we have also got some apologies as well, which I will go through. So Derek Anderson, so he is our Senior Construction Manager. Unfortunately, he can't be with us this morning, but Derek is normally the Senior Construction Manager on this site. We've then got James Brown, who's the Project Manager at Lane End Group. If you just give us a little wave, James.
Hello.
And then we've got Jessica Haslam, Assistant Site Manager, give us a wave, Jess. And then we've got Maria, who's our Trainee Site Manager as well. And then myself, so I'm Laura Perry, and I'm the Social Value Executive for this site. Unfortunately, Live Housing Group couldn't be with us today, but they have sent through some information slides, which I'll read out on their behalf later. So first off, we'll start with a site update from the construction team. So James, if you wouldn't mind just taking us through these points.
Yes, we're at the point now where scaffold's starting to drop on various elevations, as you can see on the pictures there. We've got some rendering spots to do on one elevation, so the scaffold's still there, and we need the loading bay to carry on loading boards and doors to the top floor for the next week or two. Then that'll slowly come down to the next floor, and eventually, probably 2 to 3 weeks time, there'll be no scaffold on site, and we can start with services and drainage, external works and 278 completion. On the bungalows, you can see on that picture there, a bit more progress now. On the first 2 bungalows, which would be 49 and 48, the furthest away from the road, we've got wall plates on today, and we've got the scaffold moved tomorrow, and so basically the roof's going on Monday. So you see the roof structure on Monday, and the first tiles go on the following week, and then they follow on, so like 47, 46, and to the last bungalow 45. Over the coming 4 to 5 weeks, we see the roof on all these properties. Any apartments. We'll be going mist coating in the first few apartments. Jess has ordered the kitchens for the first top floor. They'll be arriving. When's that, Jess?
That's next week, yeah.
Then the next week, kitchens will be going in. Joiners are in there at the moment, putting skirting boards on and hanging doors. So they're starting to take shape on the top floor. Plasterers are weaving away on the same floor and dropping down to the next floor down, which will be basically the first floor. And they'll be dropping down there about a week and a half. We're going to start manning up. Any questions?
Well, thanks, James. We'll get on to the questions later, but that was a fantastic update. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to the community update now. So at Lane End Group, we approach social value from a different angle to most. So we always say that we don't just build houses, we like to build communities, and we have that kind of responsibility towards those that we help create. So whenever we build in any site area, we make sure we're fully immersed within the local community and kind of seek out opportunities where we can make a difference, make an impact. And that's in lots of different ways, so whether that's offering local jobs, employment, apprenticeships, as well as kind of going into local schools and colleges as well. So here we just have a breakdown of some of our kind of key highlights that we've kind of completed so far while we've been on site. So we have utilised 21 local subcontractors and suppliers. So that's given out kind of local business, keeping it local wherever we can, which is obviously a big kind of importance to us. Keeping with that kind of local theme, we've employed 50 local people on site. So that's really kind of investing back in the local community and creating those local job opportunities. We've employed 6 apprentices. So this has given people the opportunity to kind of learn new tools while on a live site, while on a job, whether that's kind of the start of their careers or perhaps people who've decided to change up career. It's kind of given them the opportunity to learn as they go. As I mentioned at the start, we're very big on career support, so we've provided career support for over 400 local students. We've also donated construction toys, which you can see at that top picture there, to Sandymoor Preschool, which is just kind of adjacent to the site. And we've also delivered hard landscaping works and tarmacking for the Sandymoor Community Centre to create and maximise their kind of future fundraising opportunities, which is the bottom picture there. So you can see there, they had a big Jubilee celebration recently, so that was why we kind of carried out these works, so they could put up a big marquee and get all the community together. Not only does it kind of build community spirit, getting everyone together, but again, it's got that kind of fundraising element, which kind of makes it future-proof and more sustainable. So we've done quite a lot in the community, as you can see. So now we'll move on to an environmental update. And this is another area where Lane End Group are very passionate. So we do take the environment around our sites and beyond very seriously, and we're committed to delivering projects that are sustainable and have minimal impact on the environment around us. So there's just some of the gains below there, so I'll just go through some highlights. Apologies, that does say Frog Lane on the site. I can assure you these statistics are for Sandymoor. So we've saved over 2,000 kilograms of carbon. Now, I mentioned before, we're very big on local labour, as not only does this kind of give local people the opportunities, it also helps to reduce our carbon emissions, as there's obviously a lot less distance for them to travel. So due to the number of people we do have on site who are local, this means we can save over 2,000 kilograms of carbon per week, which is a fantastic statistic. We're also saving energy, so our site cabins use PRI lighting, meaning they turn on and off automatically. Again, this is saving carbon and just making that difference in the community. Over 99% of waste is recycled. So we have a strong and productive relationship with our waste management provider, which allows us to work closely and has enabled us to divert over 99% of our site's waste from landfill. So again, wherever we can, the waste is kind of diverted, and again, that's kind of got an ongoing carbon saving. We're also using 100% green energy. So on our site cabins, we're using 100% renewable energy provider, which means we will save up to 50 grams of carbon emissions for every kilowatt of energy used, which again, brilliant statistic and just a little change, but actually it's that kind of bigger gain and the bigger impact that it will have on the environment around our site. So now we'll move into an induction to Live Housing Group, who, as I mentioned at the start of the call, unfortunately aren't able to be with us today, but they have sent through some slides, which I will go through now. Okay, so First Start Group transformed into Live Housing Group in April 2020. They're a business dedicated to achieving positive social impact and flourishing communities. Live want to bring people and neighbours together to create better opportunities to grow, develop and thrive. Live Housing Group is an independent housing association providing affordable quality homes for around 25,000 people through over 13,000 properties in Knowsley and Merseyside. The Sandymoor development is the first development for Live in Holton and is the first build they've worked on in partnership with ourselves, the Lane End Group. So this slide kind of focuses on how you're able to apply for a property. So properties will be advertised on the Property Pool Plus once we receive the 28-day notice of completion. A local lettings policy is currently being drawn up by Live and will be approved by Holton Council in line with their nomination rights. The criteria will be for over 55 customers and rents and service charges are currently being finalised. So customers can register with the Property Pool Plus via that website link there, and everyone who has signed up for today's meeting will get that link sent to them on an email following this, and we'll also leave a link to that on our website as well if you are looking to rent a property. Okay, so we will move on to the question and answer session now. So we have had 5 questions submitted in advance of this meeting, and if anyone in the meeting has any additional questions, please just pop them in the chat box and we will go through them. So our first question has come in from Mr. Kingston, and they've asked, when is the estimated completion date? Now, the estimated completion date is March 2023. And more information will be available on that in due course. Let's move on to our second question. So our second question is from Miss Rivers, and they've asked, will there be car parking spaces provided for the apartment block? Yes, there will be car parking spaces available for the apartment block. Again, details to be finalised, but they are going to be available. Okay. Our third question has come in from Mr. Heath, and he's asked, how can I apply to live in one of the apartments on the development? So as we've just mentioned there, customers can apply for properties on the Property Pool Plus website, which the link will be posted on our website. And also, if you as Mr. Heath signed up for the event, you will receive that in your inbox later today. They're not currently advertised at the moment. They will be advertised when Live Housing receive a 28-day notice from ourselves. And then our fourth question for today, we've got Mrs. Bevan. She's asked, is there any bungalows that are available for sale? Unfortunately, all of the properties are available for affordable rent and for over 55s, so they're not currently available for sale on this site, unfortunately. But yes, if you are looking for an affordable rent property and you are over 55, definitely can be considered. And then our final question has come in from Mr. Maxon. What is the split between 1 and 2 bedroom apartments? So the apartment block will consist of 24 2-bedroom apartments and 20 1-bedroom apartments. So that's the split there. So nearly half and half, got 24 2-beds and 20 1-bedroom apartments. Just checking the chat box there, I can't see any additional questions have come in, but if there is any other ones from people in the meeting, please just drop them in and we will answer them. But in the meantime, thank you very much for attending today, everybody. And if you do have any further questions, any kind of clarification points that you'd like kind of following on from this meeting, you can email us at info@laneend.org. You can also visit our website, laneend.org. We've got lots of information on there, project updates and everything you can kind of need. So I haven't got any other questions in the chat box. Is there anything else anyone would like to add before we close the meeting? No, all good, brilliant. Well, thank you very much everyone for your attendance.